If you love Wendy's classic chocolate and vanilla frosty flavors, we have some big news. There are all new Frosty Swirl and Frosty Fusion flavors, so it's the same creamy treat you've always loved, now with a flavor refresh. So what are these new flavors? Okay, we've got the Frosty Swirls, strawberry, brownie batter, and caramel, and the Frosty Fusions, Oreo brownie, caramel crunch, and Pop-Tart strawberry. You can even get one at midnight or later, a refresh on a classic.
Gotta be Wendy's.
Welcome to the 4-Point Play presented by Wendy's. Today we have Ty Harris and Maddy Siegrist. So today we have 2 for 1, and we're going to give you guys part 1 and part 2 of all the good things ahead. So first, with the podcast being called the 4-Point Play, we named it that because in that play, that's really when you maximize the opportunity. That's the most points you can get on a play, obviously. So just thinking about your life in general, what would you say are some ways that you really maximize the opportunities that you get?
I think for me, just trying to maximize the opportunity by just, giving it your all, whatever you're doing, just giving it your best effort, your best shot, whether that's, practice every day, weight room, off-court stuff, regular life, just trying to, give it your all.
For me, I want to piggyback off of Maddy. Just like she said, I feel like we're on a schedule, so our days is already maximized from practice to doing the stuff before practice, the stuff after practice, and then you're going home. Like, I have 2 puppies, so, like, they're the next priority in my life after my basketball. So my schedule and day is already maximized as it is.
So going back a little bit, so obviously looking at recruitment in high school and all the things, and it was always crazy to me that you're tasked with that at 18 to determine like where you're going to go, because it just means so much. So for you, Ty, when you look at Dawn Staley and everything that she does and how she pours into someone, even when she's recruiting them, how would you say it is to be recruited by her?
Honestly, like, I didn't watch too much basketball before I got to college, which is crazy. And I've said this before, I didn't know too much about Dawn Staley before I committed either. Like, I committed to South Carolina solely based on just the person she was at that moment and just how they made me feel like it was a family-oriented team. And so, like, being recruited with her and her coming into my house for the home visit, like, it was, like, just chill. Like, she was real, she was authentic, and she was like somebody I knew from back at home or anything like that, so it was real cool.
And then Maddy, for you, do you feel like you felt a lot of pressure in high school when you had to make the choice, or you always knew I'm going to Villanova?
So mine was I wasn't no top recruit like Ty. Villanova was actually my last offer senior year. A lot of people in my class were already committed, and like I had a fair share of schools, but Villanova was definitely the biggest one. They came in last, and it was the highest risk, and it was always a dream school of mine. I wanted to stay in between Philly and Boston, 3 hours, from the house. And when they came in, I just kind of knew, and I was like, all right, this is where I want to go.
And then a little later, like after your college career, you got the opportunity to go back and fill different roles for them. How was it to be on the other side of things?
It's definitely cool because, just trying to prepare. One day the ball's going to stop bouncing, and you just want to, have your hand in the game and somehow. So just kind of seeing a little bit of a coaching role, a little more administrative, like what goes on besides the games. I think as a player, you're kind of shielded. You just show up for practice, you do your job, but you don't really see like, okay, what goes in with the marketing, what goes in with the media, what goes in with the coaching. So it was just cool to see that side of it as well.
So this year, both of you have really like dove into fashion a lot and just really not necessarily putting the effort in, but kind of having fun with it too. So I guess for you, Ty, I'll start. How has that been fun for you this year?
For me, I mean, I've been injured, so I have more time to really think about what I'm going to put on and wear. Usually, before in the past, it was like I have a schedule on a game day. So, like, we go shoot around, come home, I eat, and then I'm taking my nap. And usually that's within the 4 or 5 hours we have to get back to the gym. So, like, when I wake up, it's like a rush to find out what outfit I'm going to wear. But now that I have more time, like, I'm doing the night before. I'm talking to a stylist. I had a stylist some of the looks earlier on in the season. So talk to my stylist, seeing what works, doing alterations and stuff like that. But for me, I mean, I feel like I always kind of just had like a chill personality when it comes to putting on outfits. And that's kind of like what came out. I just wanted to add a little more pizzazz to it. Mm-hmm. So like I felt like I can be my own stylist, but at the same time, I just wanted somebody to add some like, just
razzle dazzle,
little something in there, yeah.
I kind of feel like for me, like the first like 2 years, it was like more of a chore. I'm like, oh shoot, like you gotta dress up for the game, like especially coming from college, like you have to wear the same matching sweatsuit as everybody else every day, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh, now you're on the red carpet. So this year I definitely like leaned into it a little more. I had a stylist as well for some of the outfits, and it's like just fun, just to plan a little bit in advance. And like once you get it in the mail, I'm like, okay, perfect. This is what I'm wearing. Like it's all set. I like knowing before the game because you wake up from that nap, it's a panic.
That's why I'm late a couple times in them tunnel walkthroughs.
And then for you, Maddie, debuting and documenting each outfit on TikTok, how did that idea come to you?
Well, I think I saw Lexi Hull. I think she did it last year, and a couple other players did it. And it really takes me 30 seconds, so I'm like, why not? Like, and then it's just like something fun, and then something you just add it into your routine, get used to. It's an easy way to pump out some content. So, I don't know what series I'm gonna do in the off season. I'll have to think of something.
What's tomorrow? Day 42?
44.
44. Ooh.
44.
And you've been every game?
Yeah. Well, a couple where I was hurt, I didn't do them if I wasn't
Okay.
with the team, but most of them, yeah.
And then Ty, for you, in 2020, you didn't get to dress up for the draft and do all the things.
Yeah.
But looking back, what do you think you might have would have worn, or like anyone else's outfit that you're like, okay, that was cool. But just you going back to 2020, what would like if you could style yourself for the 2020 draft right now? How would that look?
I think it would go like a little suit, business suit, not a man suit. Now, like a real sexy to my body. It might show a little skin.
Okay.
I kind of like Zaza's outfit that she had.
The black,
yeah. I kind of like that. So like that, fitted well, wearing well. Maybe some heels. Maybe heels for one look. See, I've been peeping that this year.
You'll be switching.
What?
Yeah, Paige switched.
That was not a thing.
That was definitely
they
not a
must like
thing.
add some rules now because that was not. It was like you
Oh
had
my
to stay
goodness.
in what you were doing.
Yeah.
I thought so too. So, but since they switching it up, I would have switched it up. Probably wore some heels.
For
to
like
the
the
thing,
carpet.
yeah, to the carpet, and then after that, I would have switched into some sneakers. So yeah.
Okay, so 2 in 1. And then also during 2020, just everything that was going on. Obviously, you couldn't, like, once you got drafted, it wasn't like, okay, let's get on a plane and go to Dallas. You were like, okay, what's going on? They're going to be in the bubble.
Right.
Are they going to whatever? So I guess for you, you got to go back and work out with a lot of people that you grew up with in Indiana. So for you, the way I kind of look at it as you got the opportunity to be around the people that rooted you before you go into your
Right.
biggest chapter. So for you, why do you think, even though it was unprecedented, no one really knew what was going on for you, how do you think that kind of helped you in a way to be around those people before you're going into this WNBA chapter?
It was amazing actually. Like, even though it was chaos and bad things happened from it, for me it was kind of like a reset. And I say this about my injury as well. Like, I really got to sit down and actually have the time to spend time with my family, spend time with people that was with me from day one, and enjoy it. Honestly, I know we weren't allowed to have big, parties and be around a lot of people, which I wasn't. But we just kind of had to take it back to the basics. Like, I was running outside. I don't know the last time I ran outside to get in shape, and like playing on the park outside, playing outdoor ball was just crazy. And that was my first time we actually we had family dinners at night, because like usually it's like hectic. I'm coming home from high school, practice late, parents coming in from work, and my little sisters, I don't know where they are, probably running around playing and whatnot. But like, we really didn't get to eat as a family because it was just like go, 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 go. We had practice here and there. But when COVID hit, like, you couldn't go outside, so we got to have family like dinners, family game nights. Like, it was just time to reset and just really love on the people that loved you.
I guess question for both you guys, with everything happening in 2020, with no one had ever seen something like that before. So did you ever think like, okay, if I can't play basketball, like, did you ever think of like other careers or other things? Like, did that ever cross your mind at all?
Nah, I didn't. I never went that deep where it was like, oh yeah, basketball is never gonna happen. But it was weird. I mean, I was coming home from SEC championship, and it was about to be March Madness for college, and
They canceled the tournament
yeah,
that
they
year,
canceled
right?
everything.
Yeah.
I felt like we had like 4 days of break, and then we had to go back to school to practice and stuff for March Madness. And it was like the last day before we had to go back to South Carolina is when they announced like NCAA and the women's and everybody was shut down. So like, we were stuck there. And mind you, I had like a week worth of clothes because I was just going there for a break. And so like, I only had a week worth of clothes. All my stuff is in South Carolina at college, so it was just crazy how everything just got shut down. But it was just like, it was a humbling experience. It was amazing. Good things came out of it.
And then how was that time for you, Maddy? I know
Yeah.
you were still in school.
Yeah,
but,
I just didn't finish on my freshman year. I think we were coming back from the Big East. Like, we were sitting in the locker room, like, watching the men's Big East tournament, and they're, like, stopping the game at halftime. I remember we see, like, you know, the men's coach come in. We're like, what's going on? Like, you know, and then we're all sad leaving school, but we thought we were coming back a couple weeks later. We're like, yeah, 2 weeks, everyone shut down. Then it just, we weren't going back. So same thing, just being with all my siblings. So, you know, to have that time with them, like, you really bond. And it's like, you're running outside every day. Like, what are you gonna do? I remember we got keys to the gym, and it's like only one, you know, only a family could be in there at a time. All my siblings, I'm like, you guys better start rebounding now. Like, bust out your old basketball shoes.
That was part 1 with Ty and Maddy. We have part 2 coming soon, so make sure you stay locked for that.